Hey, good morning everybody, it's Bobby, and today's video is a little bit of a takeoff of last week's video, but I got some emails saying, yeah, Bobby, you didn't talk about long putts. What about lagging? That's important. Don't spend all your time on short putts. What about making long putts and getting them close to the hole? Well, keep in mind something here, and that is, it's important that you practice in a way that's going to actually inspire confidence. And here's what I mean. The manner in which most people practice their long putting does them no good at all. In fact, it tricks them into thinking that better than actual progress is being made. Why is that? Well, because the manner in which most people practice, they say, oh, I'm going to work on my long putts. And they drop 2 or 3 balls, and they scout out a hole 30 or 40 or 50 feet away, and they say, I'm just going to work on getting the distance right. So they do. And they putt them, and they don't finish what's left. They just go over there and putt it. Remember, what makes a putt difficult is not this putt. It's the fear of what you're going to have on the next putt. And so when you practice in a way that you're not going to go finish what's left, then you're not practicing in a way that closely resembles the task for which you're preparing. Sports psychologists have said for years that practice is most beneficial when it closely resembles the task for which we're preparing. So when you take away that putt, the finish, the cleanup putt, after your long putt, you're in no way performing a task that resembles actual golf. We have to always practice in a way that puts the same pressure on us, that we can feel, creates the same emotion as we have on the golf course. And so when you relieve yourself of the responsibility for finishing what's left, then you're just wasting your time because it's no longer it. And so here's what I'm going to do. I have a hole about 60 feet away. It's a little uphill, and I've designed it this way on purpose because my job is to try to 2-putt both of these balls going and then 2-putt them both returning. Now, I picked one on a hill because I've got to adjust for the slope. It's going to be a little slower going that way, a little faster, kind of like what? Golf. You've got to be able to prepare, or you should be prepared no matter what hits you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to 2-putt them both going. I should have probably practiced this first. Come on, baby. I got lucky on that one. I pushed it. All right, let's see what happens here. Now, I knocked one to 6 inches, another one to about 5 feet. All right, better powers of concentration would be in my best interest. All right, there's 1, and there's 2. Now, I've got to return and do the same exact thing. Now, if it turns out that I've missed any one of them, I have to start the whole thing over. What is it starting to feel like? It's like golf, there's a penalty for a mishit, for a misplay. All right, I've got to add the cost of failure into my practice routine, or I'm simply not preparing for the task at hand. And so work through that. Keep in mind that, it's nice if you make a long putt, but it's really beyond any reasonable expectation that you should think about making them from here. The person who makes more than his or her fair share of long putts is really just the person who keeps getting close. The more that happen to get close, the more happen to fall in. And so your only real goal is to try to hit it close. And it might fall, but get it close. That means get the speed right and always add that cleanup putt to your routine. Then you're actually preparing for the task at hand. I want to thank you all for tuning in with me today. I'll look forward to seeing you next week.